Alright, so this is your starting point right here, x. Okay, so you'll say x goes into x cubed how many times? So you want to have a little scratch word on the right side of your paper. So you'll say x times something has to be equal to the x cubed. I get the x cubed from here, I get x from here. So Trav, what is it?
X squared.
Okay, good. So x squared. Now, when you're doing long division, everything needs to line up. So you notice I got the x squared. So on top here, put your x squared over your x squared. Okay? Now we need to multiply and subtract. So I'm going to take the x squared and then multiply that by my x minus 1. So x squared times x minus 1, x cubed minus x squared. Just distribute. And I'm going to subtract that off from my problem. I'm going to make sure I put it in a set of parentheses. I'm going to make sure that my x cubed term is lined up with x cubed and my x squared term is lined up with x squared. Then when we subtract, we're going to distribute the negative sign and then add. So when I distribute my negative sign here, x cubed becomes negative, x squared becomes positive. Now we're going to add. So x cubed plus negative x cubed, obviously 0. 2x squared plus 1x squared, that's 3x squared. And then you still have minus x minus 2. Okay? Which do you got?
How do you get 3x squared?
Because when I distributed the negative sign, I now have positive x squared here. Positive x squared plus 2x squared is 3x squared. Okay? Alright, then I start all over again. So I start with my x again. So I say, okay, x times something has to be equal to the 3x squared. So I ask myself, well, what should I write here on this blank? 3x. So the 3x, that's positive, so that goes up here on top of the x term. Then I'm going to multiply my 3x by x minus 1 so I know what to subtract off. So I have 3x times x minus 1. We all know that's 3x squared minus 3x. And I'll subtract that off, just like you did in elementary school. That's when life was good. Okay, so distributing the negative sign and adding is the same thing as subtracting. So I'll distribute the negative sign. This becomes negative 3x squared. This becomes positive 3x. It's very helpful if you have another color to put your signs in there instead of like going through and changing it with your pencil, because if you mess up, it's really hard to undo what you've done. So positive 3x squared, negative 3x squared, that's 0. That's fine. Negative 1x, positive 3x, 2x. Bring my minus 2 down. Now I start all over again. So I start with the x out here, and I'm going to ask myself, x times something has to be equal to 2x. Obviously 2. That's a positive 2, so that's going to go above my constant term here. And then I multiply by x minus 1, so it's 2 times x minus 1, which is 2x minus 2. And then we'll subtract. So subtract 2x minus 2. Distribute your negative sign. So this becomes negative 2x. This becomes positive 2. And we subtract off 0. So we have a remainder. Our remainder in this case is 0. So what that tells you is that x minus 1 is a factor of your original function, which is x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2. So continuing on, what we're going to do here is, how does this help you factor? Well, we took x minus 1, divided it into our f of x. You see, now we've boiled it down to be x squared plus 3x plus 2. So now what I can do is I can factor x squared plus 3x plus 2 very easily. I'm looking for two numbers that add to get 3, two numbers that multiply for 2, obviously 2 and 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2. So my factors are x plus 2, x plus 1, the factor that I divided in, x minus 1. So there's the three factors for your f of x. So that's what your long division is doing for you. I'm taking this large polynomial, 4 terms in this case. I applied long division. I broke it down to be a quadratic. I was able to easily factor my quadratic and come out with my three factors for my polynomial. And again, this one, f of x, had a max of 3 factors because the maximum there is cubed. Okay? So questions on how to run long division? Okay, Kayla, you can cut that now.
Oh.
Press it down. You press the red button.
I did press the
No,
red
you
button.
didn't. It didn't go beep, Kayla.
Well,